What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, in today's video, I want to go over Tron and what in the world is happening right now and whether or not now is a good time to be buying or not, because things have been absolutely insane, leaving many of you wondering what in the world to do. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, my friends, and let's get straight into the video. Now, guys, please don't forget, if you do want to catch up every single morning, I actually do have a second channel linked down in the description below, in which we talk about what's happening over in the broad market, and I actually just did a video this morning talking about why whales have been buying, why they're going crazy, what the market's looking like right now, what I'm doing, and much more. So feel free to go check that out. It'll be the first description down there. But let's go ahead and take a look at Tron, and let's just answer the question, is now a good time to be buying Tron or not? So what I'm coming to realize is that we are kind of in a spot right now where I think Tron is probably more risky now than it's ever been. And I don't mean to say that to shit on the parade or anything like that, but I just do have to be honest. Now, the main reason why I do believe that buying Tron at this exact moment is an incredibly risky thing is quite simply because it is now approaching that 2021 all-time high, currently sat right around 18 cents. Now, not only is it approaching it, we are currently sitting, guys, we are sitting, let's see, we're sitting about 8% below it, definitely pushing right up towards it, as we are now also seeing an interaction with these little micro Fibonacci extension levels from this recent swing high down to swing low. Now, what that typically means is that where we are right now, Tron is going to see a ridiculous amount of resistance. Not only is it going to see resistance from that 2021 high, it's also going to see resistance from that little peak that it put in next to it around 17 cents, both of which are going to force downward pressure on the price. Now, while that is also happening, as I mentioned before, we're going to see that Fibonacci pressure as well. We have a 1.618 Fib extension zone at 17.53, and that is also going to force a lot of downward pressure on this price because it is a weekly Fibonacci zone. Whenever you also considering the fact that we are now starting to see some major overextensions here from Tron, let's go to the Bollinger Bands and just see. What you can see here is Tron is now fully extended, not even just into the top side, but outside the top side of this Bollinger Band envelope, which historically marks when it's starting to find the top, right? These moments in which we see it extend this heavily outside of this Bollinger Band envelope, it will typically be followed by some type of pullback. Now, it might continue upwards a little bit like we did see here, but oftentimes we will see these pullbacks happen after this overextension, and as you can see here again, we are just overextended now like we have been every single time before we saw one of those pullbacks. Now, one of the last things that I did want to mention is the fact that Tron is currently seeing a lot of, loss of momentum from a relative strength index perspective. Of course, what we can see from the RSI is that as this move to the upside has been happening over these last, throughout this year, right? As things have been progressing and things have been getting better, it's been looking okay, but we're starting to see things shift a little bit. What you can see here is that we reset back to the downside, which was a beautiful reset. We put in a high, we put in a high, we put in a high. And so because of this, we're seeing a gradual trend upwards, and this could be, kind of entailing that things are looking decent, especially in a shorter term time perspective. But what I am a little bit more cautious about is the fact that after we put in this high back here in February of 2024, we've still not been able to even remotely clear that on the RSI, and it's not even close. We got fully extended up here, and we're still setting in a much lower high. And so what would have to happen is that Tron would have to go so high. The thing would have to literally go towards 25 cents to be able to pull this RSI up far enough and fast enough to be able to surpass this previous high. And typically speaking, in moments like this, where you're seeing the price set a higher high, but the RSI is setting a lower high, it means that although the price is moving well, the momentum and the strength of the move isn't actually that strong from more of a back-end perspective. And you just need to be cautious because some type of pullback and a fall back to reality could easily be on the way. Now, a lot of the reason as to why this pump has been happening is a little bit more fundamental and ecosystemic based, right? We have been seeing a lot of stuff happening currently with, USDT on Tron. Sorry, geez, that was hard to get out. We've also been seeing a ton of activity in terms of meme coins and people trading meme coins on Tron. And so, of course, that definitely could have an impact, and it could lead Tron to continue this move upwards. But I can't ignore the fact that the technicals are pointing in a direction where it's just saying, look, right now is very risky. If I was going to do anything, I would be either waiting to see if we do get that pullback and we do see these Bollinger Bands get maybe, a pullback back towards this 20 simple moving average. Maybe that's a better time to buy, or I need to see Tron be able to clearly surpass these previous 2021 all-time highs, because at that given point, now it's like, all right, well, at least we don't have this massive point point of resistance right above us. Now we're in price discovery, and at least there's an option for us to continue upwards without that massive resistance pushing us back down. And so, currently speaking, I don't think this is a good time to buy. Personally, I think the train is kind of, left the station. The best time to buy would have been during the pullbacks. Buying right as it's about to try to set a new all-time high is never really a good idea in my opinion, especially when you have indicators pointing and saying that, this thing is overextended to the top side. So, of course, we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll update you if anything important does happen. But, of course, you guys kind of messaged me a ton asking me if it was a good time to buy, and I just wanted to give you my honest opinion. I hope I'm not being a bear. I hope I'm not, I hope you don't take this as FUD, especially if you're from the Tron community, but I just have to be honest. Anybody with eyes can see that purchasing when something is overextended on a moon green candle, one candle on the weekly that's up, 25%, is risky. Simple. It's risky business. There's no way to cut that cake anyway out. So, okay. So, with that said, that's kind of my overall quick opinion on what's happening with Tron. And, of course, I hope you guys did enjoy. Now, as I mentioned before, if you do want my opinion on even more of what's happening in the world of crypto right now, please head down to my second channel down in the description below. It's called The Crypto Catch Up, where we catch up on crypto every single day. But overall, of course, I hope you guys did enjoy this quick update, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.